Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a good one. I've had a lot of requests for this video, and what this is going to be is a recoil show off of some of the gas blowback replicas that I have. Last time we did this, I did it with pistols and people really liked it, seeing, hey, this is what a gas blowback pistol looks like, a bit more close up. Let's do a bit of a comparison, and also just like, what's the recoil like? Because as I was saying in that video, like, it's kind of cool to be able to see a video of like, oh, here's what the recoil looks like, but actually being able to fast forward, reverse, see what different replica is recoiling like, what the feel is like, what it looks like when it's actually firing, I think is kind of valuable. So hopefully this means if you guys are out there thinking, hey, do I want to get this one or that one? You can think about it. You can say, right, well, this is the one that I want. So I've got quite a few replicas here. I've got 8 different replicas, and I don't want to take too much of your guys' time because this could be a bit longer. So I'm going to go through these things very quickly, what I've done here, what I've built on them. If you've watched some of the content before, you may be aware of that, so you can kind of fast forward, and then I'm just going to give you a quick firing, recoil, rate of fire kind of look at this at the end of it. So to start with, this is my Guns Modify MWS. So it's a copy of the Tokyo Marui MWS made by Guns Modify. This, if you're buying it, it's probably around $500. On this, it's actually the Mark 18 model. But what I've done is I've actually switched out the rail here for an M-LOK Geisley rail. I've got a Magpul front foregrip on it. I've got an Axon Unity Tactical pressure switch, which goes to this, which is a Somo gear, kind of like a PEC unit, except this one is a flashlight and a laser, green laser. And that is the Axon. It's the one which doesn't have the lower pad on it. So I can't remember the exact name of this one, but it's the like hot button. The Axon hot button is that one. This is an Ace-Tech Predator 2, I believe, that tracer. It's the Predator 2 or the Predator 3, this one. So that has got a specific flash hider on it. It's got these kind of like little ball bearings inside, so I can put these on and then rotate it. Clicks in place. I really like these suppressors and tracers. They just work really well. It's Ace-Tech. They build a great tracer unit. So these are great. Plus, if you put those flash hiders on any of your replicas, you can just go through and switch them out. I have got a Noveski bolt in here. I've got a Geisley charging handle on here. I have this is actually a copy, this Hydra mount from GBRs. I have got a real EOTech on here. I have a Magpul sling point. I've put a back plate on here for, again, this QD. This is a Daniel Defense stock, Daniel Defense pistol grip, Daniel Defense foregrip. And that, I think, is what I've done to this one. It's a really, really great replica. Obviously, it's not Tokyo Marui because it is a copy of it, but it's the MWS system, which means it can use the MWS mags. This is actually a Guns Modify mag, so it comes with this replica, but I actually use these normally in my MWSs, so that's pretty great. Oh, one thing I forgot was this bad lever. So I've got this bad lever here, which is basically a bolt release. So instead of hitting that bolt release on the back, I can just push there with my finger, and that's going to release the bolt. I really like this thing. It just, for me, just makes everything a lot quicker. So if I'm firing and I get an empty bolt, then I can just literally, instead of having to like take my actual hand off, I can just do the reload, bang straight in, and then that finger there is just releasing the bolt and we're good to go again. Okay, so this on semi-auto, I have done some changes. I've got a different recoil spring in here. So this isn't going to be what it's like out the box. It's probably going to be a bit heavier recoil, but this is just kind of like to give you guys an idea. So this is what it is like on semi. Show you guys a bit more of it. And then full auto, this is my rate of fire. Yeah, so that's running lower on gas, but I think it's great, this thing. I've actually put a Toxicant trigger in here as well. So this is the Toxicant MWS trigger. So really, really effective, like very small trigger movement on there, you can see. Very light. So there. So that is the first one that I'm going to go through. So that's probably spent quite a lot on that one. But out of the box, you're probably spending about 500. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is going to be One of my favorites, this is my Tokyo Marui Saiga 12K. You can pick these up for about $500 as well. However, I've done a lot of work to this, so this is a lot more expensive than that amount. So just to kind of like bear in mind, you can get this base for that, but that's going to be with not a lot of these accessories on it. So what I have got is an M-Lock rail that I put on here. I got this from JK Army. I can't remember the exact brand of it, but you can get quite a few different ones of these. So I think the stock 12K rail is fine. Like it's, you know, it is what it is, but actually not having the ability to mount a stock handguard, but the ability to mount stuff, you don't really have. So I've got this on here. I've got a shorter outer barrel on here, so it's actually a bit longer when you normally get it. I have a Quark C tracer unit on here. These are great for shotguns. This fires 3 rounds at a time. So for shotguns, this thing is basically just putting out like 3 BBs at a time. So you do need a wider, more specialized tracer unit for it, which is this Quark C. I have a mount here for an O-light. So what I have is actually an O-light, which I should have brought with me, but it just clicks into place here. This goes on the back, which I can just literally take that O-light and switch it between a few of my replicas that I have that on. This is a pressure pad for the O-light here. I actually found this mount on Etsy, which is a mount which actually will take that. I found it very difficult to find a mount that would actually house this switch or put it in a place where I needed it. I have got, this isn't all of my replicas here, guys, by the way, just so you know, like I've got a load more and I am going to do a collection video, but I thought just as a quick fun one for you guys, this might be quite interesting. So I have a Magpul QD sling release right there. So I can put my QD mount on there. I have, what else do I have on here? The Midwest Industries side rail mount. So that allows me to run this, which is a HoloSun AEMS. This is a real one. I've got one of the, I think it's Boom Arms. I can't remember the name, but you can get them on JK Army. These are the screen protectors, which is awesome. This sight for a shotgun is amazing. I'll see if I can give you guys a little look at it quickly. I mean, the sight on the last one is really amazing because obviously it is an EOTech, which everyone loves. But okay, you can't really see it because it's too zoomed in, but it is a big red circle, which I find you can actually put the like two MOA dot in the middle, but I find that it's actually awesome just to have that as a kind of spread area. It does spread this thing, pretty awesome. I have got a Federal Concepts polymer charging handle cover on here. I really like that. And then finally on this, I have a Midwest Industries folding stock, which again, I really like this. I actually had another one on here that broke. So it was a replica. This is real and it is so solid. Like this thing when it's in there is just awesome. And actually I had to get a back plate here to convert this to Picatinny so that I could put that on there and get away from the regular stock. So that is the things that I've changed. The recoil on this thing is pretty mental. I absolutely love it. I have put a heavier weight bolt in it and 115% recoil spring. So I'll show you guys that there, how it fires. You can see just like the noise of it is awesome. And then this is semi-auto. I do have a Saiga 12 SPS, which is full auto, but you can fire this thing pretty quickly. Like it's a, and then you're putting out like what, 20 BBs in that time. So this thing is beautiful. I love it. But this is my Saiga 12K, which has had a ton of work done to it. Again, I've spent probably far too much money on this one, but it's definitely worth it. Playing with this thing indoors is phenomenal. Okay, next one. We're going to go, actually, let's go with, I was going to go with an AK, but we're going to do that in a second. So this is another one of my favorites. This is the APFG MPXK. I've done videos on this before, so I'll do a quick roundup. I bought this suppressor. I've actually sent the link to a couple of people on videos recently, so I should do a separate video on this suppressor, but it's a SIG style suppressor. Can't remember the name of the website, but it's got a tracer unit in it. It's a AceTech AT2000R tracer unit. This is a SIG style suppressor, so I think it looks excellent on this replica. I have a Die-Free Co. Tiger Claw front kind of grip here, which I'll either use this way or this way or this way, but it just gives me something just to kind of like hold on to and rest. awesome. I have a Midwest Industries different handrail on here, this front handrail. This thing's awesome as well. The one that it comes with is great. I think it's about $390 out of the box. So just that's kind of where you're going to be before you spend all this money. This is a real mod light I've got on here with an adapter that goes to this Surefire switch. So this is just a flashlight. I don't have a laser on this one. Probably could, but actually, to be honest, the mod light here works perfectly. I have a Unity Tactical PTS copy fast riser mount here. I've got a real EOTech on this one. I really love real EOTechs. I have a real SIG, a retractable stock on here, which again is awesome. I have an enlarged mag release, which is this guy here. And I also have, what else? That is probably it, I think. Rate of fire on this thing is amazing. Absolutely love using it. It's probably my favorite trigger on any airsoft gun I've ever had. I've again showed you channel guys this before, but there is no movement. It's really crisp and heavy. Used to like a light trigger, now I like a heavy one. Like, it's just beautiful. And then in terms of rate of fire at semi, or how snappy it is. And then here's the full auto. So you can see this is a 35 round mag, and the actual gas capacity on these things are amazing. I love these magazines. They're super light, expensive as always with gas blowbacks. But that is my MPXK from APFG. Next one, we'll go back to the like Russian styles here. This is my AKM from Tokyo Marui. This thing again is just, it's beautiful, and I don't really want to mess this up. I've kind of been tempted to like scratch up this wood, but for now I'm going to keep it in this format. As I said, this is an AKM. I've got an AKX as well. That's going to be for another video. I've kind of tried to do, tried to do one or two from each kind of class here. I've probably got half my collection out today, just to give you a heads up on the size of it. This is a real wood kit that I've put on here. So I've left most of this stock. I have put a new heavier recoil spring in here, and I've put a heavier buffer weight. So that's something bolt kind of like buffer weight. Is that what I'm going to call it? The bolt weight at the end of the actual reciprocating bolt. I have got, real wood kit on here. Other than that, I've kept this stock. So you can get these for about $570, I think. Evite might have some at the moment. They're absolutely awesome. Just really, really great replicas. It's basically, the AKX is the same, just the more modern version. But the gas efficiency on these is awesome. The accuracy on them is awesome. Obviously, if you're not an AK guy, then it's probably, you know, not quite as an attractive thing for you to play around with, but I just think it is, it's beautiful. So this has semi and full auto, obviously. The rate of fire on this is actually pretty good. It's more of your AK chugging 7.62 rate of fire. In terms of a sling, I've got this Wayward, what is it called? Wayward Group. They don't make these anymore. A lot of people are asking me about these, but I've actually got regular sling mounts on here to keep it more that traditional AK style. The semi-auto on this thing is just a really good kick. And then full auto on this is, yeah, you can see the rate of the gas efficiency on this thing is awesome. So that is this one. Love it, absolutely love it. You know, can't really say enough good stuff about replicas from Tokyo Marui. Next one we are going to go on to is this, which is my APFG Spear LT. This is the 11.5-inch version. I've actually tried to keep this as kind of like a lightweight, so I haven't put any like attachments on the front of it. I've decided to keep it as like my kind of outside replica. So I play indoor and I play outdoor in Southern California. So this thing is amazing for something. It's just amazing generally, but it's amazing for Southern California. And I don't really need a PEC unit. I don't need a laser. I don't need a flashlight, anything like that when I'm actually playing in the day outside. So keeping this more lightweight is great. I've got an LPVO on here, which I never really was an LPVO guy, but I have to say I'm a big convert to it. So this for outside as well. It's an airsoft replica. You're not really going to end up, you know, looking at 6x zoom, which is what this thing can switch over to with this throw lever. But it is something that I can use to like look and see things closer. So if there is something far away, like the actual fields that I play at generally have quite good range in terms of where you're playing. So just being able to like see where my BBs are going or see something in the distance is really cool. Plus this just works basically as a red dot. This is a real Sig Sauer Tango MSR, and it is a 1:6 as I said. I've actually got it on a PTS Unity copy mount as well. So this mount is, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's a scope mount and it has a offset red dot right there, which you can kind of set to. I've got an op mod. Who is this? This is Viridian op mod is the little red dot. So I have played with this indoors, and if I'm close up, just being able to spin it that way has just been useful. I thought I would actually think I need it more, but actually it's not been the case. I actually kept the stock flash hider on here again. I don't want to use a tracer unit on this particularly, and I think it looks better. This flash hider for some reason like sits lower on the barrel, so it actually just looks better. I've tried replacing it with other SIG flash hiders. Doesn't really work very well. This is a Unity tactical little foregrip here. I think it's called the MVG, maybe is what it's called. Other things I've done to this, I put a real SIG cheek riser on it. This is actually a stock, or comes with the APFG replica stock, and it is great. Like I'd say, you really don't need to change that. Magpul K2 Plus grip, I put these on everything. And then I've also put a Magpul QD sling point release. It already has one at the back, so that's excellent. And then I've changed inner barrel. I've changed the hop-up bucking, and I've just tuned it a little bit. But other than that, it's kind of stayed where it was. Rate of fire on this thing is amazing. Trigger is amazing. It's probably not quite as good as the MPXK trigger from APFG, but it is pretty close. So I'll show you guys what that is like. Takes VFC mags. It's basically built by VFC. Love how the ambidextrous controls are here. So I've got instead of having that bad lever like on my Mark 18 from Guns Modify, this one has got the ambidextrous bolt release right there. So I really like that. So that is my little bolt release. This is the semi-auto. It's just a very, very satisfying noise. I'll give you the, if I put the mag in, right? I did a mag removal there. Okay, there is the, give you the, and then full auto, this thing's got a great rate of fire. And again, you can see the gas capacity on this is excellent. So it's probably not quite as fast rate of fire as that MPXK, but it's not far off. I'm a big, big fan of APFG. I got this from Octagon as well, so they actually engraved it with the trades. Unfortunately, I didn't get that with my MPXK. So that is my Spear LT. Next one is something a bit different, which is this. Something that I'm about to paint, actually. I'm about to do a video on it, which is going to be me doing a camo job on this. But this is a KCO2 KJW. Really got a big fanboy kind of base in this. I've done the inner barrel on here. I've done the hop-up bucking. And that's probably about it. I've put a different barrel on here because getting the red tip off this, the orange tip, was a nightmare. It was all painted on. So I changed out the outer barrel, and then I've also put this, which is like a little, I don't know how you describe it. It's like a muzzle device flash hider, but it's almost like a compensator. And then apart from that, I've put this Aimpoint copy sight on here. It's a repro. Don't actually know where that came from, but it seems to work really well with this. I might do something more like an LPVO because this thing fires pretty hot. I've also got a Magpul stock on here, which is, they're just the standard, you know, like Magpul stocks. They're really well made. I just love them. And then there's another PTS grip on here as well. This works really well. You can't really have the back strap on this just because of where that is there, but this fits really well. It's normally I'll put my Magpul K2 Plus on everything, but this is a PTS pistol grip, and it just works really well. So the annoying thing with this is you can't really dry fire it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just release the action, then put the mag in. But this thing is obviously only semi-auto, and it works great. Obviously then I've got the bolt hole back. You have to remove the mag and then put that back in. I'll try and give you guys a bit of a heads up on what this is like. Trigger's not the best, but it is definitely pretty fun to shoot. Let me try and give you that there. That's what that's like. Okay, so this has got more to come. So if you want to see more content or you want to see me do specific stuff on this, I want to hear about it. So just give me a heads up on that. I'm running out of space here down below me, so I need to be a bit careful. I'm not damaging my precious replicas that I spent so much time and effort on. Okay, so this is going to be the big boy, the one that most people like to hear about. This is the XM5, or now known as the XM7, made by Toxicant. This thing is awesome as well. It is very expensive at $1,600 out of the box, and then you're having to spend quite a bit extra to make it look like this. Like, this is definitely now probably a $4,000 or $5,000 gun. This is a new Magpul stock that they've put on here, that I've put on here, which is kind of like a replacement of that last one. I think it's just a bit more of a minimal design. When I saw it, I was like, what stock do I put on here? Sorry guys, I just got interrupted at probably the most important time. My little kid, very, very cute little boy, he just came home from school, so he just burst into the office. So anyway, this was the most important thing. This is the XM5, probably the one I get most questions about. So I've done a couple of videos on this. I'll run through it so you guys can get an idea of it. PTS stock. This stock tube is the regular one you get. Magpul K2 Plus grip, as I do on everything. This is an AIRSOFT copy of a mount here. It is made really for these sights, and I think it looks incredible on here. So this is a Romeo 8T from SIG. This is a Juliet 3 Micro from SIG. This is a Magpul QD sling point. You have got one here, but I actually preferred running it there. This is an MVG, what is this one? This is another Magpul foregrip here. For me, it's just the positioning of it, like where I can kind of like hook my hand here. And then I've just got access to the Axon Unity Tactical Axon switch here. This is the sync model, so it runs two different lines, one into this PEC unit from Somo Gear. So that gives me an IR laser, a regular laser, and an IR flashlight. Then I've got a Surefire scout light on here, which is another one that runs off. Lens protector, I think that's the same company, maybe like Boom Arms. Then I've got this PTS Dead Air Sandman. This one is a kind of like a flash hider that they do, which is a copy of the SIG, so this works perfectly. And then I've got the Smoky Wolf suppressor in here, so it kicks out smoke when you're actually firing it, which again, I think is probably one of the coolest things. And in terms of internals, I put a new barrel in it, a new hop-up bucking, hop-up rubber, and that is it, I think, on this one. If you guys have watched my content, you're probably like, screaming at it. And I think these cable management for M-LOK, again, maybe are from Magpul, but that's it. And then the bolt on this guy is huge, like the charging handle is here, and the bolt on it is a big boy. So when I use the ambidextrous bolt release, you can see that thing slap forward. And then this thing kicks pretty hard just because of that bolt size. So this is it in semi. I have to keep my bolt out. And then in full auto, it's not quite as fast rate of fire, but it's pretty awesome. Again, gas capacity is good on it. That actually made my ear ring. Like, it's definitely loud, this thing. I didn't realize it was that loud, but I just put my ear right next to the bolt, which probably wasn't the best idea. But yeah, it's not the fastest rate of fire, and the gas capacity is good. Easily goes through mags. In terms of the capacity, probably 2 fills with BBs, but it isn't quite the same mag capacity as the gas capacity in the mags as the APFG. And then I have 2 more. So next one, I need to like actually not drop these, which is the big thing. Right, so my next one is actually this, which you may be looking and thinking, that looks familiar. This is actually a Carbine Kit on an AAP1. I really like using this for just lightweight. It weighs nothing, this thing. It's got an M-LOK rail on it. I've got some like adapter rails here, just having some Picatinny on that. This flash hider, I don't know where I got it from, but it is awesome. This, I think, is the TTI, I think they call themselves. I'm thinking that's Taran Tactical, but it might be something else. But this is a carbine kit that they build. It's quite expensive. It's like a couple $100. And then this is actually an Action Army folding stock that they do. I've got a different bolt in here. No, I don't. I've got a stock bolt in here. I have a charging handle attachment on here. I have a different trigger in here, which you'll be able to see is literally no give again. Like this thing just goes and that's it. So there is no movement and no give. So that, for me, when I'm firing this, is awesome. Adjustable hop-up wheel, that TDI kind of like hop-up. And I've got an O-Light O-sight on here, which I'm actually not the hugest fan of. Like I actually ended up, it's actually really good on this. I put it on pistols and I didn't love it on pistols. It is quite big and chunky, but actually on this, far forward, it's really, really good. This thing, a lot of the time I'll run it as HPA. So I'll just have an HPA mag adapter. What I've thought about doing actually is switching this out for the TAP AIRSOFT hybrid bottom. I've got one of those that I've started. This isn't a video about HPA or about pistols, but this is a lower here which just has the built-in line. And so I could just switch that straight over onto here. And then this is just running as HPA always, and it's probably going to make it lighter as well. This thing actually does feel very cool in the hand. I've got a tracer in here. That's the actual original Smoky Wolf suppressor. Yeah, I've done a longer barrel in here. The build is getting more and more complex, and I need to do a video on that as well. So yeah, so this one is just super fun. I've got the Falcon grips, Talon grip tape on here. And again, longer inner barrel, hop-up bucking's been done, everything like that. Rate of fire on this is really good, or it's just very snappy. So I'll give you the, if I've got any gas, which I haven't got in this mag. So hopefully this mag has actually got, it's not leaking. Thought we'd have a leaky mag for a second. So obviously this takes Glock mag, so it is one of my primaries, but really it takes like your secondary magazine. So we have got a slight leak on that, I think. So I need to fix that. Here is the semi-auto. Oh, that's not, that's full auto. We'll switch it over. So I've kind of ruined it for you guys there. Semi-auto. Try and show you this here. And then full auto is, I haven't done the switcher on this, which I should do, like make it easier to switch between full auto and semi. Rarely run this in full auto. So that's with lower gas there. You've got an idea of what the actual speed was like on that first bit. Why do I keep shaking the cam? I've literally learned not to do that, and it's such like a muscle memory thing for me now. Okay, well, I need to put more gas in there properly. So that is my AAP1. The base on this is $100, and then you're spending a lot more just to get it to where that is now. This actual little case here is like the charger for it, which is kind of a cool design, but you can't really charge the actual sight without it. And then finally, I'm going to go to this guy, which was my original gas blowbacks, the thing that made me fall in love with gas blowbacks. This actually was an inspiration from Ollie Talks Airsoft. Now I heard recently, unfortunately, Ollie's actually passed away. So I need to make a video, and I really want to do that. Just kind of like highlighting how great that guy was and how amazing he was in the airsoft community and what he did to actually influence me and hundreds, if not thousands of other people to get into it. So I was thinking about maybe doing like a live stream where I can talk through Ollie's videos. We can watch them together and just kind of like chat. I don't know. If you have any ideas for that, please put it down in the comments below, because I think that would be really awesome just to do something just in his name. But he really inspired me to get this. I saw one of these in his collection. I was like, wow, that looks awesome. I want one of those. This is a Mark 18 from Tokyo Marui, the MWS. I've done, again, quite a lot of stuff to this, so it isn't really looking like how it would out the box. This thing is about $750 to get brand new, and then you're spending everything on it. What I've done on this is I've actually got the Mark II from Ace Tech, which is the tracer unit within this suppressor. Again, it's all going to run on these flash hiders, so you can just switch this out. I could run the Mark III on here, the Mark II on here. Super easy to take on and off. Probably prefer the Dead Air Sandman, the PTS one, but it's going to be close. This one has got a Surefire Scout light. This has got white light and also IR with it, so this is an expensive one. I've got a Daniel Defense full setup of the stock pistol grip and the front grip here, the foregrip. It has an actual Picatinny to M-Lock adapter here because I like the actual one they make. It's a lot thinner, the one that they make for M-Lock. So I didn't want to change out the Mark 18 rail on this, so I thought I'd just switch that over and do that. This is, again, one of the Unity Axon switches, which is leading to, again, a Somo Gear PEC unit. This thing's great. They're really, really good. A lot of people use them on real steel firearms. They're about $280, those. This is actually a real GBRS group riser here, which the Hydra mount riser, which again, some people love it, some people hate it. The other one I've got is a copy, but this one is real. And I actually love this setup. I think with a replica like this, it puts a lot of weight in the middle as opposed to having this on the end here. So I really like this setup. And I think especially for airsoft, where you're not taking long shots and having like the barrel and the like sight co-aligned really isn't, like, it's not as important as it is on a real steel firearm. So I love it. This is, again, the bad lever that I've got right there. I've got another one of the Magpul QD releases. I generally will put some of the same stuff in the same places every single time. So that's just something there. I've got another Geissele charging handle on this one. I've actually got the Guns Modify trigger box in here. So that is a Guns Modify trigger. And this is probably one of the best triggers. It's got a lot more movement than the other one, but the actual wall, it's right there. There is no movement again, so it just goes. And then I've got a different bolt in here. I think it's actually a Guns Modify bolt in here as well. I've done that trigger box. I've done an inner barrel. I've done a hop-up bucking, and I think that is about it. There's, again, cable management that I've got here. I think these are just ones you can buy off Amazon, but it's like little... meant for Picatinny rail on that one there. And this one, again, it was like my go-to. I probably haven't used this one in that much recently, actually, but generally this is what made me fall in love with gas blowbacks. I was thinking at the time, I'm like, oh, I'll just get one replica and I'll just have my gas blowback and that's what I'm going to use. I don't need anything else. And then this happened afterwards. But this thing really is probably, in terms of like tugging at the heartstrings, the original thing, this is the one. So rate of fire on this is really good. I was hitting the bad lever. I was thinking it wasn't locking back. Rate of fire on this is really good. And the actual like responsiveness is good. The gas efficiency is also great because it's an MWS. So this is the trigger response. Oh, if I have it in semi-auto. If I put gas in the mag, that also might help. I'm not having a great pre-prep session with a couple of these mags at the end not filled. You know, when you're using with so many replicas, it's quite hard sometimes to be like, have I filled everything? But we should be good now. No leak on that. This is also another real EOTech, just so you know that one as well. Here is the, sorry, I'll give you a bit more of an angle. So you can see the kick on that's quite significant. And then the full auto on this is but actually you can say there I didn't fill the mag with gas, but the efficiency on this in terms of gas is not the same as the VFC APFG systems. It's really good, but I would actually say, for me personally, and what I've been sold and what I've been able to play with, that is kind of seems like those are more efficient. Anyway, guys, I hope this has been an interesting video. This was a fun one to make for me because I could just go through and play with all my stuff. But hopefully, as a lot of people asked for it, I'm hoping this is a good one. If you have any questions, as I said, put them down below. If you'd like to become a channel member, great. Subscribe, hit the notifications button, like, etc. That'd be awesome. And I will see you very soon on the next video. Goodbye.